Today we're going to take a look at 10 big differences between the Lady Loki of the comics and the Lady Loki of the MCU. 10. First and foremost, the Lady Loki of the comics was not some alternate timeline variant of Loki. It was just straight up Loki as a woman, remaining in that form during the Dark Reign period of the Marvel Comics. 9. This also means that the Lady Loki of the comics was gender fluid, whereas the Lady Loki of the MCU seems to stick pretty exclusively to her female form. 616 Loki doesn't really identify as any one gender 100% of the time, and he doesn't actually identify as a human being 100% of the time, as he's been known to take on the form of many different types of animals. 8. The Lady Loki of the comics was as fluid with her morals as she was with her gender, and perhaps one of the biggest differences between her and her film incarnation is just how good Sylvie is in the MCU. In a lot of ways, Sylvie is the heroine, but Lady Loki in the comics is a vile villainess. At one time, she impersonated Scarlet Witch and tried to have the Avengers go on a pretty big murder rampage. 7. The differences in power are pretty notable too. The MCU's Lady Loki primarily relies on hand-to-hand combat combined with her ability to enchant rather than the mystic arts. And the Lady Loki from the comics has done a bunch of crazy magical feats. I can go on and on about it, but like I mentioned earlier, she impersonated Scarlet Witch, and then at a meeting with Dr. Doom, she killed a ton of his bodyguards. 6. That said, the Lady Loki from 616 in the Marvel Comics is probably the more intimidating physical force. She tears through steel doors, withstands plumes of flame that disintegrate normal humans, and finds Dr. Doom's attempt to poison her food just delicious. She just ate it all up. All of those things would have stopped Sylvie cold in her tracks if we're being honest. 5. The motivations of the two characters is notably different as well. Sylvie fought against the injustice of the TVA, traveling across the multiverse to bring them down. And in the comics, Lady Loki served on the Villainous Cabal to further her own ends, which were shifting and mysterious throughout. 4. 616 Lady Loki's service on the Cabal also shows her willingness to work alongside and cooperate with others, employing the Goddess of Mischief's signature manipulative tactics to get her way. Sylvie was way more of a loner and had to learn to get along with her male counterpart, the Loki that we know from the Avengers movies, over the course of the entire season. 3. Although Loki is capable of changing their shape at will, Lady Loki is a bit more complicated than mere shape-shifting. She's actually a reincarnation of Loki in a body intended for Lady Sif. Now, Sylvie had no known connection to Sif in the Disney Plus series, so we're not sure if that will ever come up. 2. The most iconic incarnation of Lady Loki in the comics notably swore an oath that she would not tell a lie. Sylvie never made such an oath and lied periodically throughout the series. 1. More than anything, the 616 Lady Loki remained a Thor villain. She even tricked Thor into killing his grandfather, Bor, and sought to kill Thor himself and rule over Asgard. Sylvie barely seemed to care about Thor at all, and when her relationship is with her brother, or perhaps sister, remains a massive mystery.